देश के एसएमई प्लेटफॉर्म पर एक से एक कंपनियां आ रही है। एक्सचेंज के प्लेटफॉर्म पे आप देखेंगे तो ऐसे ऐसे इनोवेशंस हो रहे हैं और ऐसी ऐसी कंपनियां आ रही है जो आपको मेन बोर्ड में भी नहीं दिखेंगी। और उसी लिस्ट में एक और नाम SPGCL श्री प्रियंका जियो कॉमिक्स लिमिटेड का नाम भी जोड़ने जा रहा है। और उस कंपनी के होल टाइम डायरेक्टर विक्रम नुथालापति साहब हमारे साथ मौजूद है बर्लिन से। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर, आपने वक्त निकाला हमारे दर्शकों के लिए, इसके लिए सबसे पहले शुक्रिया। और आपकी इशू तैयारी है आने के लिए। 24 तारीख को ये इशू खुल जाएगा, 29 तारीख को 29 जून को इसकी क्लोजिंग डेट है और कंपनी की तैयारी है करीब करीब 95 करोड़ 94.5 सीआर इस इशू से जुटाने की। सर, सबसे पहला मेरा सवाल होगा आपके बिजनेस से रिलेटेड। SPGCL करती क्या है, आपका कोर बिजनेस क्या है? क्योंकि मैं आपके बिजनेस के बारे में पढ़ रहा था तो कई तरह के डाइवर्सिफाइड बिजनेस है। एक तो आप क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स की सोर्सिंग करते हैं, दूसरा आप मेटल्स में भी है, कॉपर कैथोड्स में भी है, और साथ साथ यहाँ पे राइस ब्रान ऑयल जैसे भी प्रोडक्ट्स हैं। तो बिल्कुल कमोडिटी स्पेस ज़रूर है लेकिन इसमें भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा डाइवर्सिफाइड बिजनेस है। लेकिन इन तीनों अलग अलग बिजनेसेस को कैसे आप जोड़ते हैं और स्ट्रेंथ क्या है?
Okay. So thanks, Mohan, for wishing for the IPO, and we're looking forward for it. So just to give you a nutshell of the activities, what we do, one is in mining and processing is the key division what we have today, and the second thing is sourcing of metals, as you rightly said, and the third is the manufacturing entity what we built together. So the whole idea is to be part of the growth drivers of any economy, like being part of critical minerals, which are used for the industrial drive, the food industry. So which we are in the most important industries as we speak today. So one is food industry, the other one is the industrial mineral segment, which we are in already. So I think like these two divisions help us significantly for the taking the company forward in the forthcoming years.
ओके सर, आपके मैं रेवेन्यू मिक्स को भी समझना चाह रहा था कि जो क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स है इनका हिस्सा आपके रेवेन्यू में कितना है, कॉपर कैथोड्स का कितना हिस्सा आता है, और साथ साथ यहाँ पर राइस ब्रान ऑयल का कितना हिस्सा है आपके टोटल रेवेन्यू में?
So 40% of our revenue comes from barytes and fluorspar, which is from the mining capabilities what we have today as we speak, and 40% is close to 42% comes from copper cathodes, and the rest comes from the manufacturing segment. So I mean, you can't take revenue as the basis of it, because like the profits are generated through the mining and processing industry what we have today. Processing industry is under work in progress. I think like the 1st of July or 3rd of July, I think like the plant is going to start trail productions as well, which means that like barytes are going to be barytes and fluorspar, which are going to be the industrial minerals, critical minerals, are going to be path forward. Copper cathodes, what we are doing today, it's a validation what we are planning to do in forthcoming years, like where we have copper mine which has been allocated by government of Morocco, where like we would be taking our own copper ore and processing it on the pit head, and then supplying it to the smelting unit where we are buying copper cathode. So we are trying to integrate the entire value chain, whatever we have today. That's what we have done for barite, and that is what we are going to do for copper as well. So this is what the Sri Priyanka Geocomics Limited is all about. So we build capacities for the exports, and then we go backward, acquisition of mines, permits, and then like forward integrated with the processing units. This will help us to establish the network quite intact, Mr. Mohan.
ओके, वन मोर थिंग सर, ये मोरक्को में आपने बैकवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन के जरिए वहाँ पर माइंस आप लोगों ने वहाँ पे एक्वायर किया है, लेकिन डायरेक्टली आउट राइटली वहाँ पे एक्विजिशंस क्या नहीं हुई? ये क्या बिजनेस एंगल है और वहाँ से रेवेन्यू का कंट्रीब्यूशन कैसे होता है, कैसे सोर्स करते हैं मिनरल्स, और वहाँ पे चैलेंजेस क्या क्या हैं?
Okay, so if you asked me today, like, why you could have bought the asset instead of like, getting a mining license, it is as equivalent as like, buying an asset, Mr. Mohan. So like, instead of you spending a huge capital expenditure, the capital expenditure for the acquisition of the permit, rather we follow the fundamentals correctly, like, getting the allocation from the government, getting a geological report, and getting the license to mine is it's something like which we it's a fundamentally what we are trying to build for long-term stability. We're building in-house geologists, in-house labs. All these things contribute over a long period of time rather than like buying an asset off the shelf, Mohan. I mean, if at all we have that, if at all in the future, if we are not adverse to that kind of a model, but at that point of time, like, we wanted to follow the fundamentals where, like, we need to build a team at that point of time. That's what we have done all together. So I think going forward, if at all there's any assets at our disposal, I think like we'll go ahead and like secure the assets as well.
ओके। अब 3 कॉन्टिनेंट में आपका बिजनेस यहाँ पे एक्सपैंड है और एक तो आप सोर्स करते हैं मोरक्को से, आपके फिर सिंगापुर के रूट के जरिए आप यूएस में, यूरोप में अपने यहाँ पे आपके क्लाइंट्स हैं। कैसे इस इतने सारी ज्योग्राफीज में कैसे डील करते हैं, क्या क्या चैलेंजेस आते हैं बिजनेस के लिए?
So I would rather looking at a challenge like I would take it as a lot of positives, Mr. Mohan. So the one positivity what we have from Morocco is logistically it is much more convenient rather than sourcing it from or like mining it from India or from China. Morocco is next door to Europe. 18 days voyage to US and South American continent. So, and to Asian continent, it is going to be another 12-day voyage, which means that it is strategically located. And if you talk about the clientele, we work in different applications, Mr. Mohan. So we're not concentrated on a particular industry. We have de-risked our operations serving to different applications. One is Barrites goes into oil and gas sector, and now we are working to supply it to a chemical industry as well. Fluorspar goes into battery manufacturing. Copper cathode gets into the electrification, which is like cable manufacturing or battery manufacturing. We are trying to enter into the semiconductor division as well. So each geography has its own strengths. I would say Europe is more into the innovation angle, like we supply to Germany, where majority of the innovation, research and innovation comes from. And US oil and gas sector, we are focused more on the oil and gas sector of US, which is a driving factor for one of the driving factor for their economy. And we don't have to introduce China at all. 52% of global copper cathode goes into China. Such is the demand potential. So we carefully pick and choose the sectors which we wanted to be in. It's not like we look scout for opportunities and like we get into it. We were unidirectional and focused on those particular sectors, uh, Mr. Mohan.
ओके। एक और चीज़ यहाँ पर, क्योंकि क्रिटिकल मिनरल को लेकर जिस तरह से प्रोटेक्शनिज्म की स्ट्रैटेजी पूरी दुनिया में चल रही है ट्रंप के आने के बाद से, तो आपके लिए क्या बाहर में जाके सोर्स करना इन मिनरल्स को क्या कुछ चैलेंजिंग भी रहा है, और आगे क्या ये कुछ बड़े रिस्क भी हो सकते हैं क्या बिजनेस के लिए?
Between critical minerals and rare earth metals, I think like people tend to have this kind of a confusion. Uh, Mr. Mohan. So we are more into the industrial minerals. We call it as industrial minerals, and Mr. Mohan. Rare earth versus the minerals, but our critical minerals are part of industrial minerals. So I think like especially like for the growth factors of any economy, these minerals are very much important. And let's say if at all Morocco doesn't have oil and gas sector at all, they have to export the cargoes.
ओके, ओके, तो डेफिनेटली यहाँ पे रेयर अर्थ बिल्कुल अलग है, और क्रिटिकल मिनरल जिस हिस्से में आप काम करते हैं, तो वहां पर कुछ उस तरह के चैलेंजेस यहाँ पर देखने को नहीं मिल रहे हैं। चलिए सर, अब आपके बिजनेसेस की तरफ आते हैं। पिछले कुछ फाइनेंशियल ईयर्स में मैंने देखा है एक शार्प जंप दिखा है प्रॉफिट मार्जिन में भी, इविटा मार्जिन में भी। ऐसा बिजनेस में आप लोगों ने क्या किया है कि इस तरह की ग्रोथ जर्नी शुरू हो गई है?
Okay. It's not that like we have milestones to be honest with you like when we started company in 1990 we have an inflection point in 1996 we started with our own facility. Before that we were using ideal capacities. There's going to be a jump in revenue. Then in 2010 we have forward integrated our manufacturing facility with a refinery. Then there's a jump. In 2015, we started sourcing arm in Singapore and in Morocco. Then there's a jump. So it's years of working, and once the idea is matured, I think the results are being shown, Mr. Mohan. If we started in 1990 and now 2026, there's 36 years. So we can't have the same kind of revenues in 1990 versus 2006, right? So to answer precisely your question, so we started working since 2015 in this segment,
ओके।
sourcing of critical minerals, and we carefully went backward integrated and forward integrated with all these things, securing a long-term contracts with the customers. So which helped us the profitability significantly because the demand of these commodities are going up, of these minerals are going up day in, day out. And I would say it is not linearly. There's a spike in demand of these particular segments. And as I told you, Morocco is the third largest producer of barite. The first and second are India and China. Sorry, China and India. India produces a different kind of barite. China produces a different kind of barite. Morocco produces a different kind of a barite. So that's the kind of difference what we had at this point of time. And fluorspar is the same thing. Fluorspar can be used for HF industry. We call it hydrofluoric acid industry. But we started selling it to battery manufacturing industry. So and copper cathode, there are multiple applications where we can send it, Mr. Mohan. But still, we carefully choose and pick to sell it to the cable manufacturing companies. So these are the key drivers to increase the profitability, securing the sources for longer period, increasing the profit margins, and change in the product mix of the cargoes, which resulted in a tremendous success at this point of time, Mohan. And it would continue because our fundamentals are extremely strong because backed up with our own mines, having a processing unit, long-term contracts, multiple applications. I think the fundamentals are extremely strong for our company.
ओके, और पिछले कुछ सालों में हमने देखा भी है जिस तरह के एक्जुबरेंस इस इस तरह के क्रिटिकल मिनरल हो पूरे मेटल सेक्टर में जो देखने को मिल रहा है, और सारी कंपनीज काफ़ी अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही है, हम डोमेस्टिक लेवल पे भी देख रहे हैं और उसका असर। और आप जिस तरह के बैराइट की बात कर रहे हैं, फ्लोरोस्पार की बात कर रहे हैं, कॉपर कैथोड्स की कर रहे हैं, इसकी डिमांड भी इतनी स्ट्रांग है, उसका भी फ़ायदा कंपनी को मिला है। एक और चीज़, जिस तरह के रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी आपके देखने को मिले हैं पिछले कुछ सालों में, रिटर्न ऑन कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड जिस तरह की ग्रोथ दिखी है, क्या उस मोमेंटम को आगे भी आप लोग बनाए रख पाएंगे? क्या बरकरार रहेगा क्या वो मोमेंटम?
So the most important thing is the deployment of capital in an effective way is what we have done all together, Mr. Mohan. So the whole idea is we have the object of IPO is for the working capital. The capex requirement has been catered from our own internal accruals. That's why, our ROCE is going to be tremendously high because that's the fundamental what we've followed all together. The capital will be deployed effectively in such a way that the churning is going to be more and the returns are going to be extremely high.
ओके। एक चीज और, एक कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड रिस्क मुझे यहाँ पे दिख रहा था, ये कि आप सिंगल आपके क्लाइंट पे आपकी डिपेंडेंसी काफी ज्यादा है, इसको कैसे डाइवर्सिफाई करेंगे आने वाले समय में?
Rated risk, Mr. Mohan. I think we look at in a different way in a business perspective. Maybe I'm sure like in an investor's perspective, it may be a concentrated risk, maybe defaults and stuff like that. We're talking about close to a Fortune 500 companies. If you take barytes, like we supply to the largest barite importer in entire America. So that is the level of company where we are dealing with. And Fluorspar, we deal with 125-year-old company in Germany. And copper cathodes, we sell directly to the customers. So which means that it is not a concentrated risk. It's a captive trade for them. Like we are interdependent on each other. Our resources are pivotal for them. At the same time, like we need them. So it's going to be hand in glove approach, Mr. Mohan. It's not. I wouldn't take it as a concentrated risk. I would consider it as being associated with the very large firms, Mr. Mohan.
ओके,
And
तो आप इसको अपॉर्चुनिटी के तौर पे देख रहे हैं?
exactly. Exactly. So, just to give you a nutshell, the US buyer, which we are talking about, they buy close to 1.2 million tons of barytes all over the world. And if you take fluorspar, they buy close to 100,000 tons of fluorspar. And if we talk about copper cathode, I think no, it's not. I think they buy close to a 37,000 tons of copper cathode. So there is a demand where like, we can supply it to them. It's not about the concentrated risk for the particular customer. What our thought process is to supply to varied applications. Instead of supplying to oil and gas sector, we should be selling it to somebody else, to a different application. Like to in Germany, like we can sell it to chemical manufacturing unit. Fluorspar, we can sell it to HF industry. Copper cathode, we can sell it to semiconductor industry. Diversify with the applications rather than with the customer base, which eventually come in
ओके, ओके,
of clientele coming in.
ओके,
So
वन
that's
मोर.
our that's our modus operandi, Mr. Mohan.
ओके, अब मैं इंडिया के बिजनेस के बारे पर बातचीत करना चाह रहा हूँ राइस ब्रान ऑयल को लेके, क्योंकि सरकार का फोकस है लगातार कैसे हम सेल्फ सफिशिएंट बने, घरेलू बाजार में ही ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा एडिबल ऑयल का प्रोडक्शन बढ़े, और राइस ब्रान ऑयल के प्रोडक्शन को बढ़ाने को लेकर लगातार यहाँ पर कोशिश जारी है। हमने सॉल्वेंट एक्सट्रैक्टर एसोसिएशंस की तरफ से भी इस तरह की पहल देखी है, लेकिन अभी भी जो पेनिट्रेशन है राइस ब्रान ऑयल को लेके, जो तरह के अवेयरनेस की ज़रूरत है वो कम है। कैसे इस बिज़नेस को भी आप एक्सपैंड आगे करेंगे? इस बिज़नेस को लेकर प्लान क्या है आपके?
So as you rightly said, Mr. Mohan, like the government is very keen to drive our economy towards self-sustainability, especially in the edible oil segment, because that is the second subject to correction. That is going to be the second. That is the second largest foreign exchange spender today when we talk. Uh, so so the government has taken all the initiatives, and we are rightly placed, Mr. Mohan, because we have a 3.5 decades of experience. We are close to the sourcing point, and the demand of edible oil is always there. It's more about like with the working capital requirement, what with the working capital what we are getting from the IPO, we would be focusing towards getting into the consumer segment. Currently, we are doing B2B. We would want to get into B2C segment, where the penetration is going to be much higher than today's capacities. So which would yield, it's more about the less foreign exchange spending. So which is going to be a great initiative for us as well, like being part of sourcing local material, processing it locally and supplying it locally. So I think that's one of the key factors and the milestones what we're going to achieve in forthcoming years, Mr. Mohan.
ओके, ओके, उम्मीद करते हैं कि इंपोर्ट बिल को रिड्यूस करने में आप लोगों की भी यहाँ पे भागीदारी बढ़े, क्योंकि जिस तरह से सरकार लगातार कोशिश कर रही है कि 55 से 60% तक हम यहाँ पर इंपोर्ट पे हमारी एडिबल ऑयल की निर्भरता डिपेंडेंसी है उसको कम किया जाए। सर, अब दूसरा सवाल मेरा वापस से मैं आपके बुक पर ही आता हूँ। डेट लेवल की स्थिति क्या है, डेट सर्विसिंग की क्या है, और आपके बिजनेस के लिए अभी मौजूदा रिस्क आप क्या क्या देख रहे हैं?
So we never had any kind of an issue with, I mean, like if you talk about debt equity ratio, I think debt equity is 1.04x. That's what like it is on the card. So like we are servicing debt pretty good, and with the kind of returns what we have, I think servicing debt would not be a challenge at all, Mr. Mohan. It's more importantly like how we are leveraging the debt for maximizing the churning time and like supplying cargoes on a long term basis, Mr. Mohan.
ओके, हो रही होगी, वो क्या कॉस्ट ऑफ बोरोइंग ये किस तरह के हैं, और साथ साथ यहाँ पे एक्सटर्नल बोरोइंग्स भी है या डोमेस्टिक बैंक्स वगैरह से भी, यहाँ के इंस्टीट्यूशन से ही ये जितने भी बोरोइंग्स हुए होंगे?
Yes, like we borrow from the banks, Mr. Mohan. We have a total debt of close to 37 crores at this point of time when we talk from the financial institutions, Mr. Mohan.
ओके, आप करीब करीब 94.5 करोड़ आप लोगों की जुटाने की योजना है इस इशू के जरिए, इसका इस्तेमाल क्या करेंगे? क्या इससे डेट कम करने की भी तैयारी है?
So we've taken a guarded approach, Mr. Mohan. So 10 crores is going for a debt repayment to the banks, and 16.5 crores is a holding company working capital requirement, and 47 crores is for the working capital requirement for the subsidiaries, which is going as a loan towards to subsidiary, which is so the entire block is going for working capital requirement, and 10 crores is going for repayment of debt.
ओके, चलिए अब वापस से आते हैं, क्योंकि जिस तरह की ग्रोथ जर्नी FY23 से आप लोगों का दिख रहा है, जिस तरह का मोमेंटम दिख रहा है, आगे को लेकर आप क्या गाइडेंस दे रहे हैं? क्या किस तरह की ग्रोथ जर्नी आगे रहने वाली है, इसको लेके बताइए। हमारे जो भी दर्शक है, जो आपके इन्वेस्टर्स होने वाले हैं, उनको गाइड कीजिए।
So the most important thing is always about the evolution, how you evolve in the value chain, in the supply chain, Mr. Mohan. That's what we've followed since the inception of the company. So each business has a different vertical and horizontal business approach. What we do. So at this point of time, what we're like, we're going vertical integration. Now we will be starting towards the horizontal integration as well, which means that like we would be doing it for our own logistics, the sea freights, like we would be using chartering vessels and like delivering the cargoes to the customers, where like there's going to be a tad bit of margins in the freights as well, where we could increase the profitability of the company. Having said that, we always want to supply the cargoes to different applications, different industries, where like the value addition can be made. So today, as we speak, if we talk, we're supplying it to oil and gas sector. Tomorrow, we'll be supplying it to the chemical industry, which like the value added is going to be significantly high. Which is already in FY27, you can see that kind of a growth because we've already made enough headroom and enough inroads into chemical industry in Europe, serving from Morocco. And fluorspar is the same thing. Like we wanted to supply to more value added products. And copper cathode, the same thing. Like getting to if I break down the next 2-3 years of our company's journey, the primary goal is to get the copper ore at the cheapest available from our own mine. Second thing is integrated with the forward integration pithead flotation plant, and supplying it to the smelting unit is one of the key factors, what the driving factors for us. And second thing, getting into the chemical segment in the entire Europe, where like we would be focusing on barium-related compounds, where we've already tied up with a very large company in Germany. The third important factor is integrating all the things with the logistics angle as well. So, which means that we're integrating the entire supply chain and the value chain. We will be very important as well, Mr. Mohan.
ओके।
So
जिस
these gonna be like the driving factors for the next 2-3 years.
जिस तरह के आपके बिजनेस मॉडल है, जिस तरह के चेन में आप वैल्यू चेन के साथ आप काम कर रहे हैं, और इशू साइज को देखते हुए लग रहा है कि जल्द ही आपकी एसएमई से जर्नी आगे आने वाले समय में मेन बोर्ड तक भी जाएगी। क्या टारगेट आप लोग लेके चल रहे हैं? कितने सालों में आप उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि हम मेन बोर्ड तक पहुंच जाएंगे?
I think we would be ready from 2027 onwards, because the requirement, I think we can fulfill the requirement, but I think SME, the NSE has a requirement, we have to stay in SME board at least for 3 years. I think by 2027 itself, the average profitability would definitely meet the requirement of the NSE, and that's going to be by 2029. I think the main board is on the cards, Mr. Mohan.
ओके, तो डेफिनेटली वो तो, और जिस तरह के बिजनेस है, नेचर ऑफ बिजनेस है, डेफिनेटली काफ़ी हाई ग्रोथ वाले बिजनेसेस है, और जिस तरह की डिमांड भी आजकल चल रही है इन बिजनेसेस की। सर, अब एक सवाल, एक नया माइलस्टोन, आज 36 साल, जैसा आपने कहा 36 ईयर्स पहले आपने अपने इस बिज़नेस को शुरू किया, और वो उस माइलस्टोन को आप हासिल कर रहे हैं, ये कैसा फील कर रहे हैं कि अब तक की जर्नी कैसी रही है?
It's more of responsibility, Mr. Mohan. I mean, every milestone, rather, we look back and think good about it, but it's more having a responsibility on taking things forward, I would say. Um, I would not be I would say, it's not, it won't be exciting. I wouldn't lie on that, Mr. Mohan. It's really exciting times, but as well as it brings a lot of responsibility to on us as well. So I think it's a even-handed thing, Mr. Mohan. I mean, one side it is responsibility, the other side, it's a huge milestone on the company's side.
आपका रोल इस कंपनी में कैसे है, और आगे इस रोल को कैसे आप डिफाइन करेंगे? आगे नया क्या क्या देखेंगे आपकी तरफ से?
I mean, at this point of time, I take in the company, Mr. Mohan. So I wanted to take the company forward in all the angles. So even today, I'm traveling. If IPO is happening back home. I'm in Germany trying to work on a specific deal, which we were talking about, the chemical. So it's always about taking things forward. At this point of time, now I travel almost for 200 days, 210 days out of India back home, but still, this is a huge responsibility what I have taken. I have chosen this, so I'm very happy that as long as I'm contributing, at this and it has to be rewarded for everybody. So my goal is to consolidate the opportunities whatever we have and bring new opportunities to the company. That gives me personal satisfaction, to be honest, Mr. Mohan.
बिल्कुल उम्मीद करते हैं आप इसी तरह से ग्रो करें। आपने खुद ही चूज किया इस बिजनेस को, तो आपका स्ट्रगल है, उसके रिवॉर्ड भी देंगे, और मार्केट देता भी है। अगर आप अच्छा काम करते हैं तो कई गुना ज़्यादा रिवॉर्ड भी देती है। तो उम्मीद करते हैं आपका आईपीओ सक्सेसफुल हो, और लिस्टिंग के बाद की जर्नी और भी उससे भी ज़्यादा सुपर सक्सेसफुल हो। इसी नोट पर आपको शुक्रिया करेंगे। काफ़ी लंबा वक्त लिया, लेकिन आपने जर्मनी में है उसके बावजूद हमारे लिए वक्त निकाला, हमारे दर्शकों को, उन इन्वेस्टर्स को गाइड किया जिनको इस कंपनी के बारे में समझना है, और आगे की ग्रोथ जर्नी के बारे में भी आपने बातचीत की। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। तो एसपीजीसीएल श्री प्रियंका जियो कॉमिक्स लिमिटेड के होल टाइम डायरेक्टर थे विक्रम नुथालापति साहब। उनको आप सुन रहे थे, कंपनी को लेकर उनके विज़न क्या है, और कंपनी का आईपीओ इशू एसएमई बोर्ड पे खुलने जा रहा है 24 जून से 29 जून को ये बंद होगा। और इस इशू के बारे में और कंपनी के बारे में हमने पूरी डिटेल्स आपको बता दी है। उम्मीद की है कि ये एपिसोड आपको पसंद आया होगा। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।